as an adult action figure collector, we want to have it all. We want figures easy, inexpensive, and to last forever. I get it. I'm an adult collector too. My name is Scott ToyGuru Neitlich. I've been in the toy industry for over 25 years, and as an adult collector, I get that we want adult collectoring to be like Burger King, and we want to have it our way. And we feel very entitled because we're giving these toy companies our hard-earned money. The reality of it is that wanting things good, cheap, and fast in any industry, whether it's action figures or pest control, well, sometimes they're the same, is just not possible. So let's look at some issues and solutions. Marvel Legends. I'm a big Marvel Legends fan. I collect a ton of these. And I've had more than one Marvel Legends figure arrive where the joint is frozen. And when I try to move the joint, part of the figure breaks off, like literally just breaks, to the point that if you glued it, well, now you've lost that articulation point. And while there are some easy solutions to this, like boiling the figure in water to loosen up the joints, if a figure does break, there's no amount of water boiling that is going to get that leg to go back into the thigh. It's pretty much busted forever unless you glue it, and then you've lost one part of the articulation. And that's pretty much why we buy Marvel Legends, because they are highly articulated and we can pose them however we want. Now, figure breakage is not at all limited to Marvel Legends. I'm not trying to pick on them. I'm just using an example. In fact, to be completely transparent, let's look at an example of a toy that I worked on. I worked for Mattel for many, many years, and one of the lines I worked on was Masters of the Universe Classics. And it had its fair share of quality control problems, too. One of the bigger ones that we tried to do our best to fix was the ankle joints. The ankle joints tended to be loose, I guess for a lack of a better word, and this would affect figures being able to stand up sometimes, where the figure might crumble under its own weight. And when you're selling figures for the main purpose of displaying them, as opposed to, a kid bashing them into each other, well, that's not a good thing. In fact, it was such large an issue that websites or YouTubers like Hebro actually put out videos about how to fix this issue and, addressing it as a consumer. So let's go back to the whole good, fast, and cheap paradigm. And you'll notice in the middle it says you're dreaming if you want all of those. You can basically have two. Fast and good, more expensive, good and cheap. It'll take time to deliver. Cheap and fast, not the best quality. So why is it with figures that we look and see, that figure is designed for the adult collector? It's sold at retail, but come on, I'm the prime audience for that. I don't see kids ever buying Black Series or Marvel Legends. Those are designed for me. Whether they're designed for you or not, and whether you buy them or not, that's not the point. The point is, from a factory and a manufacturer standpoint, toys that are at mass retail, like Black Series and Marvel Legends, are built the same way as these Ben 10 figures right here, in the same factories. They are designed for age grade, 4+ for children to smash together and have fun with. They may wind up on your shelf, but like these Star Wars Galaxy of Adventure figures, which were designed to, appeal to both collectors and kids, they're designed with the same, call it technology, that every other toy in the toy aisle is designed with. Meaning the plastic quality, the joints, the articulation levels, the way the accessories snap into the hands, all of this is done at, call it the age grade 4+ level. Meaning whether the figure is bought by an adult collector or bought by a kid, it still has the same age grade. You can see the 4+ right there on this Black Series figure. So this figure is classified the exact same way that Galaxy of Adventure Darth Vader from the last slide is age grade and produced. This figure might have more paint and more detail in the sculpt, but it's produced in the same exact manner as this figure from Galaxy of Adventure. It's just, the differences in deco and sculpt have nothing to do with how the toys are put together. Those are just aesthetic details on top of the figure. How they're put together is the same. So a figure like, 2000X Tila, which as collectors we look at and we're like, oh, that's for me, that's for us, that's for a collector. Well, this whole line was designed for kids, and that's actually why it didn't work at retails, because kids weren't getting into it. We may see it as adult collector, but that 4 plus at the top says it's for kids. So what's an answer to this? Well, in a lot of ways, it's the Bandai line SH Figure Arts, which is a Japanese line, which in America we can get it, we just have to pay higher prices because we have to import it. So here's Darth Vader again in his SH Figure Arts package. Looks a lot like the Black Series figure, same amount of deco and sculpting detail as a Black Series figure, but the way it's put together and the way the articulation works and the manufacturing is very, very different. And that's what makes it so expensive. It's not just because it's imported from Japan. If you have this figure, any figure art, SH Figure Arts figure in your hand and you compare it to a Black Series figure, I mean, even just feeling it, you can feel it, it feels more like, not a statue, but you can tell it's more brittle, if you will. It's not meant to bash together like a Ben 10 figure is. It's meant to be a statue and pose on your shelf. It embraces what the adult collectors do, and you have all sorts of, extra ways of displaying it, extra eyes, extra arms, extra accessories, etc., etc. Because this is it looks like a toy, and it smells like a toy. It is not a toy. It is an articulated statue. If you tried to play with this, you would break it, like if you gave this to a kid. So deep dive on this one, and hang in there, kids at home. Let's look at Doctor Strange. Why Doctor Strange? Well, I love Doctor Strange, and it's because that's the only SH Figure Arts figure I have is a Doctor Strange toy, so I'm going to use the Marvel Legends one and that as comparison. So this Marvel Legends figure of Doctor Strange that came out for the first movie, had multiple multiple hands. It had like spell-casting hands and gripping hands, and it came with a magic effect and a removable cape, and the likeness was, pretty good to Benedict Cumberbatch. Not a perfect match, but darn good. The cape was a little off model from how it wound up in the final movie. The clasps at the shoulder changed in final movie production, but for the reference they probably had when the figure was sculpted, it's correct. And this figure is going to set you back $20. Now, let's look at the Bandai SH Figure Arts figure. This is a little different. So this figure's more expensive, but it comes with a lot more hands, and it comes with a lot more accessories. In fact, they did 2 different versions of him with different magical effects. This is the one I in particular have that had the flame effects, and also came with some magic disc effects, which, by the way, those flame effects look awesome with X-Men Pyro, just saying. They clip perfectly onto his hands. Anyway, that's an aside. So if you buy this version of Doctor Strange, you can obviously customize him pretty much exactly how you want. He's got hands in all sorts of spell-casting poses. I mean, he comes with about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different hands. So I guess 5 sets. Multiple heads, and a ton of magical accessories. And he's going to look awesome on your shelf. He does. He looks awesome on my shelf. You can surround him with fire, which I don't know why. I don't think he ever had fire in the movie, but again, probably in like the early script he did, which is probably how he wound up with this. The later version that came out for Infinity War had gloved hands and a portal that went behind him, which also cool, but I don't have that version. Either way, you're going to get a figure that you can pose exactly how you want it. Even his cape is articulated at multiple points. And he's a perfect articulated statue. If you gave this toy to a kid, good luck with it coming back in one piece. It's going to chip, it's going to break, the fingers are going to break off. I mean, it's going to be destroyed. A child would destroy this toy in less than a minute. And this toy is going to set you back about $100 in good old American money. Now, you can upgrade even further to something like the Hot Toys figure, which is going to, set you back more, but you're going to get a lot more. But you're also dealing with a different scale. We're no longer at the 6-inch scale. We're now at the 12-inch scale. But, you're getting things like real cloth capes. You're getting perfect portraits. The head sculpt, that is Benedict Cumberbatch. It looks like he just stepped right out of the movie. And you're getting a ridiculous amount of detail on things like the belts and the Eye of Agamotto amulet. And, the hands have practically fingerprints sculpted into them. It's basically going to be your perfect rendition of a figure of a character, but again, it's at 12-inch scale. You're not going to be able to do this at 6-inch. The SH Figure Arts is about as good as you'll get at that scale. And the Hot Toys figures will set you back a couple of $100, you know, from $300 to $600, depending on the figure, maybe even more. So this brings us back to the beginning with the whole good, cheap, and fast. Yes, this is what we all want, but if you're buying a $20 figure and you're expecting it to behave like a $100 figure, that's the disconnect. This figure is great. It's a Marvel Legends figure, it's Doctor Strange, comes with multiple hands options and a magic effect, plus a giant leg of a Build-A-Figure, which you can sell on eBay or collect and connect, TM and copyright, whatever you want to do. And it's going to cost you $20. Yes, there's a chance that in time, parts could break off. You might accidentally break a leg, you know, not from playing with it even, but from just the joints being, you know, frozen, or you know, the plastic adhering to itself because of the way the paint is applied. Now, if you're going to spend $100, though, you will get the same exact figure, but this isn't going to happen. You're not going to get broken limbs. But it's not meant to be played with. It's meant to just sit on your shelf, which is what a lot of adult collectors do, so it doesn't matter. And that's why SH Figure Arts works. Yeah, you're going to spend a lot more, but it's going to guarantee you a articulated statue that doesn't break or doesn't have, you know, legs that pop off, you know, etc. And when you go online and, you know, I see this and fans are complaining about things like Marvel Legends or DC, you know, Classics or Motu Universe Classics, you know, about some of these common manufacturing issues, you know, at the end of the day, it's, like I said, these toys are designed in the same exact way as a Ben 10 toy or a Galaxy of Adventure toy. It's like throwing water into the ocean. You know, it's when you spend $20 on a toy, you're going to get $20 worth of value. If you want a toy that's at $100 value, you've got to spend that. And it's great that SH Figure Arts gives us that as an option. And it's out there, so you can have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more like it, please do subscribe and give it a like, because that tells YouTube to share it with more people. And comment below, because I respond to all the comments, and I love hearing from everyone. Thanks for watching.